Welcome to the product demonstration for the PMO leader in Planview Clarizen. Planview empowers PMO leaders like you to ensure teams deliver projects and work on time and on budget. Get a clear picture of current and future work demands, keep stakeholders informed, and stay aligned with business priorities. As a PMO leader in Planview Clarizen, you can create real-time reports and dashboards to monitor work and organizational health, spot trends, and make quick, effective decisions. Manage portfolios to ensure all work efforts are optimized to deliver timely and impactful results. Have confidence that the right people are focused on the right work at the right time, and give delivery teams flexible options for how they work best. Measure and track objectives and KPIs to answer the question, did we achieve the goals we said we would? Ensure your PMO is delivering value. Let's take a look at the PMO leader experience in Clarizen. Executive dashboards allow access into portfolios of work, so you and stakeholders can make strategic decisions faster with real-time data. More than ever, PMOs are embracing the new various ways teams work, from traditional to agile projects and everything in between. No matter how teams work, you can configure your dashboards to roll up all project data. On the project due dates by portfolio report, we can view the projects contained within the two portfolios we are referencing, when they will be delivered across the future time horizon, and what their RAG status is. Here we can see the internal process improvement project is amber yellow, which signals a risk. And if we see here on the all project status report, they are awaiting resources to start. Now everything is right in front of us to go fix this project before it's too late. We have that real-time visibility to drive strategic delivery. Understanding the financial health of our portfolios is important as well. When an executive asks how we are doing, we can answer that question quickly here. We can understand total budget of our portfolios, how much we're spending on them already, and their total health when it comes to that speedometer of green, amber, red. We also see how that budget splits out across the two portfolios on the chart below. Capturing, understanding, and mitigating risks and issues is simple with Clarizen. We can bubble up all our key change requests, risks, and issues into our RAID log on the dashboard. So when we are in PMO strategic meetings, we can spot those problem areas impacting our delivery speed and success. On the left, we can visualize where they are at in the process. And on the right, we can see a holistic view of our caseload, and we can see those critical cases bubbled up to the top, and we can go action on them. Collaboration is a key part of Clarizen. Slack and Teams are great for ad hoc conversations, but when we need to collaborate within the context of the work, now we can all in one place. Simply like, comment, and share posts, tag users, as well as use hashtags to reference other dashboards or projects within the post. Getting these executive dashboard views into the hands of stakeholders and leadership is easy. Dashboard widgets allow secure, seamless sharing that doesn't require an account to view. It's a read-only version of the report that they can bookmark for easy access. Another way Clarizen can produce reports is through its PowerPoint slide publisher feature. It really democratizes reporting where anyone can build reports, and it produces it in a format everyone is familiar with. With the click of a button, automated reports enable you to generate professional, standardized presentations. Here we can see a portfolio status report, which can have embedded Clarizen reports as well as reference key projects for more information. Now that we have visibility and executive line of sight, let's go see where all this data flows up from. It starts in portfolios. Centralized portfolios give you the visibility into all work and resources, streamlining project effort into a single source of truth, establishing governance and improving overall delivery. This is where we can see all your work. I say work because it could be traditional, agile, or something in between. It could be part of one or multiple portfolios, like strategic work that's also part of IT. From this screen, we can see all our portfolios and their key financial data, such as budget, allocation, planned, and actual costs. Think of a portfolio as more than just a bucket of projects. It's actually its own entity. We can record executive summaries and key data, as well as see all our projects and their underlying data points, like the plan, tasks, and financials, to stay on time and on budget. You can see here how we can break down our projects into their tasks and subtasks and understand lots of the financial data behind them here all in one place in portfolios. Funding distribution chart allows us to see where we are spending the allocated budget of the portfolio in a visual manner. We can break it down by project and see how much unallocated budget we have left in this portfolio. Roadmaps can sort projects in different groupings, such as investment type or project manager. They allow us to envision our work across a time horizon and understand how those projects relate via dependencies. Now, it's simple to visualize the portfolio of work, how they interrelate, and where the major conflicts and impacts are. We can set key portfolio dates to understand how they affect the overall portfolio, and we can always drill down further into a project for more details and information. Portfolios enable you to see the cascade of work in your business and how it all aligns, but it takes great people to get the work done. So let's see how we can optimize their workload in resource management. Making sure we have the right people on the right work at the right time is integral to our success as a PMO. Clarizen allows you to be flexible in resource planning. Here we're looking at a project that hasn't quite started yet and needs resources in order to get going. To staff someone on the project, I simply open up resources here at the top level, and I can search for any resources I need if I have someone specific in mind, or I can quickly filter down to specific job titles or skills as needed. In this case, I know I want to staff Larry on this project, so I can get a preliminary look at his resource load on the left. We can tell he's completely overloaded, and maybe we shouldn't necessarily pull him onto this project. This allows us more visibility to make better allocation decisions, even on initial staffing procedures. If I'm not sure who I need, I can always use placeholder resources to request staff. At the bottom of the screen, you can see I need a project manager and a developer, and we can input requested hours and skills here. Then I can send these staffing requests off to capacity planning, where resource managers or whoever manages our staffing can review and assign them to the work. Now I can make sure I get the right people staffed as opposed to just assuming they have availability. Now that we have seen the flexibility of resource staffing, let's see how you can compare capacity versus demand in capacity planning. Capacity planning lets us make informed resourcing decisions. By optimizing our resources, we can ensure that our teams are delivering on the highest priority work. We can now effectively plan out our future work to ensure it gets done on time and on budget. In the top right, we can filter our projects down to what we need to see. In this case, I want to look at both active and draft projects, or also include that potential work to know how it impacts our capacity as a whole in the potential plan. We can let the colors tell us the story of our capacity visually as well. Red means overallocated, green means just right, blue is underallocated, and yellow means we're bumping up on that limit. We can simply tell here that June and July are going to be very difficult months for us if we don't shift or exclude work or hire more FTEs. On the left, we can filter by resourcing pool, so we can look at different groupings as needed. And here, we can change it up by looking at resources, users only, or job titles, depending on what we need to look at. It's easy to tell that we will have a shortage of developers across the next 6 months, and we are at risk of them not completing active work due to the amount of red in their row. This allows us to spot when we need to hire more FTEs, as I mentioned, or when we need to shift or exclude work. To shift or exclude a project, we simply come here and select it, and you have the option to complete either action. In this case, I want to exclude to see how it will impact capacity of our developers. In this case, you can see the excluded project and how it impacts the developer lane in the top. Now they're mostly in yellow in the next 3 months, and so this clears up their capacity real time. We can see our staffing requests show up under each project as well. So if you remember, we submitted a staffing request for a developer and a project manager on the CPC Security Enhancement project earlier. To staff these, I have the option to review and assign. So let's go do that now. In this case, we're seeing the developers who are available to go get this work done. And if we had filtered down by a skill, it would filter them down as well to only the developers who have that available skill. In this case, I can always see exactly what Charles Developpo is staffed on elsewhere, and I can select him to see if he can complete that work. You'll notice his capacity changed real time, and we're getting that visual confirmation in the top bar that all those hours are staffed in green. To add and apply him to the project, I simply click here, and now Charles is staffed on that project, and the developer capacity will update, and his capacity will update as well if we were to look at users. So now I have the option to either submit this and make this plan the action that we're going to go take to go get everyone on the projects, whether it's staffed or excluded work, or I have the option to revert as well and put everything back to how it was when I first started. This is a great option to present strategic changes to stakeholders and visualize how those pivots around resourcing impact our overall portfolio. Coming back up to the strategic level, let's now discuss how we can map and deliver objectives and targets as an organization with Clarizen's goal management capabilities. The objectives and targets capabilities allow you to capture your main business KPIs, align them with goals, plan how to achieve them, track and measure progress, and provide a line of sight from strategy through execution. With objectives, we can see the associated portfolio and other key information on the right, even add sub-objectives, and in one place, capture all the strategic targets we want to accomplish. As we drill down into an objective, we see the targets, or the specific ways in which we will achieve the objective. Let's click into one below to understand further about how we're going to go accomplish that target. On the target details screen, we can capture any key information regarding the target in the properties card above. Below, we can capture those contributions or what rolls up to deliver on that target and how it's going to go get done. And here we can see the planned, actual, initial, and target values of those contributions across the future time horizon so we can see when and if we will achieve that target. And even at this level in Clarizen, we can have those collaboration discussions and always reach out for more questions as needed. Ultimately, as we track our strategic goals and progress, this information feeds up to the dashboard views for a comprehensive top-down approach of project portfolio management for the PMO leader. That concludes this quick introduction to Planview Clarizen for the PMO leader. This was just one example of how Planview solutions can help you connect your business from ideas to impact, accelerating the achievement of what matters most, and empowering your teams to do their best work. Thank you for watching.